Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont, Democrat, on Tuesday signed a bill to gradually increase the state's minimum wage to $15 an hour, which will impact more than 300,000 workers. Lamont joined in with the crowd cheering as he signed legislation into law at a nursing home, the Hartford Courant reported. I apologize for the food reference. The law will raise the minimum wage incrementally, starting with a raise from current standard of $10.10 to $11 an hour. In October, the bumps will continue until it eventually reaches the $15 an hour minimum in 2023. We tried and failed a couple of times, and this year we got it done, Lamont told the crowd. As Joe Biden might have said, this is a big deal. The law does include a provision for 16 and 17-year-old employees called a training wage to appease employees who hire seasonal help. Teenagers all receive 85% of the minimum wage for 90 days before receiving the full amount. Connecticut is the seventh state, along with the District of Columbia, to implement a $15 minimum wage. Democratic lawmakers in the state have fought for the legislation for 7 years, and Lamont said the legislation is a big win for families. WFSB reported. Women of color, many single parents, but parents, 1 out of 5 kids in this state grows up with a minimum wage parent. Small business owners, however, said they were concerned that the higher minimum wage required them to cut jobs and reduce employee hours. Here we go again. David Pelazon, the manager of Form Plastics, told the outlet that he plans to take his business out of state. He currently employs more than 150 people. We just can't afford to stay here, and it's very sad, Pelazon told the outlet. To have a 50% increase in 4 years is going to drive us out of here, and I'm sure there are other businesses, once they look at this really closely, they'll realize we are really in the same position. Lamont earlier this month invited women-owned businesses in states with the bills restricting abortion access to move to Connecticut. So this bill is it's another one of those things where I halfway like it. I don't like the fact that it takes 4 years to get to the actual number that's desired. I think that's really stupid. And I've tried to explain, when you live in an era where 76%, and as Andrew Yang said, 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, where over 60% can't afford a $1,000 emergency, little incremental stuff such as, increasing the wage by a few dollars after nearly half a decade doesn't cut it. It's too incremental for the drastic, dire circumstances of the current era. And, managers like this Pelazon guy, they can fearmonger and say, oh, yeah, we have to cut people. And it's like, well, get out of here then. Your real excuse is that you don't want to pay your workers a few more dollars. They tried to, I really hate this because let's pretend, let me go back to the top of this, that it stayed at the current standard of $10. So I'm supposed to believe that if he starts paying all these workers $5 more an hour, these 150 people, over the course of several more years of added profits, because remember what they like to say, we need to gather up the funds to do these certain things. So I'm supposed to believe that after nearly half a decade, it's 4 years until they get this the 15 minimum of having 150 workers work, that after, when this finally increases, it's just going to be doomsday. You just can't afford it. You're going to have to flee and skedaddle. No, you want to get away with paying your workers as least as possible. We've been over this before. Walmart does it on a much larger scale with, Bezos having billions of dollars and workers purposely getting hired part-time by management to ensure that they make as little as possible so they can continue to be slaved around by these positions that pay them crumbs. And it's all a pyramid scheme. So, he's fear-mongering. This is a decent bill. I wish we would get the benefits quicker, but, it is what it is. So thanks. Good on you, Governor Lamont.